what's up, you guys? I'm Sturdy, and today I'm here joined by.
Eastside Brotha.
Hey, how's it going? What's up?
Hey man, it's 30. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Pleasure to have you here today,
Thank you so
and
much.
I'm very excited for the conversation and things that we can talk about. I wanted to start off with, what's your biggest lesson or takeaway, of course, being as an independent artist so far and with your musical journey?
Biggest takeaway, don't take yourself too serious.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times, we like being an independent artist and just, trying to break into this industry, you can kind of feel like you gotta pop it in order to get noticed. And you gotta really make people respect you.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times people they feel like they gotta force you to respect them. So they always try to do weird little power moves. But I'm very playful and lighthearted when it comes to music, and I enjoy it. I take it seriously, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like it's something to be enjoyed, not more so something for me to use to gain power over other people. So end of the day with it, I'm always want to be fun and lighthearted, never take myself too seriously. Yeah, because some people they be definitely serious about this music.
And with that being said, do you feel like you encounter a lot of challenges being independent? And if so, how do you navigate those?
Of course. It's all been good. Matter of fact,
it's all good. All rainbows, sunshine.
Independent. Nah, I'll say I won't say. I don't think I've encountered anything that's specific to me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everybody else is trying to do what we're doing is noticing the same things. And we have to deal with the same crap too. It's not anything that we can change. Literally, the people that went before us had to deal with it, and the people that are going to come after us are going to maybe deal with it worse with the rise of AI and all this other stuff. How they're signing AI artists now.
It's crazy.
Timberland just signed his first AI artist, which he may be getting sued for, but no. Literally, yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms. But I say independence does have issues when it comes to that sense, but being able to drop your music when you want to, being able to okay, I want to do a show in January and I can just hit up a venue and work it out. It makes it a little better.
You have control and I guess more freedom over your art and how you want that to be seen. And
indeed, and any deal I get into, I kind of want it to be similar to that. Not obviously, I know you got to give up something to get something, mm-hmm. but I don't want to ever feel like compromising the integrity of my art in order to just have money, because it doesn't matter if you pay me a whole lot, because at the end of the day, I'm pretty straight financially before I even enter doing music.
Of course.
So I'm I don't want to I'm grateful for that too, because it allows me to not make impulse decisions, because I've seen a lot of people get burnt out just because they needed the money and they did something that was against what they are all about.
And I know you mentioned being that you're independent and having to reach out to venues for shows and things. Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask, how do you go about, there's a lot of ways too nowadays, but how do you go about connecting with different audiences and gaining new fans and new listeners?
Recently, I won't say I figured out TikTok, but it's been doing this thing. I'm up to 11K or something on there from being 200 2 months ago. So I'll say that obviously has its place, mm-hmm. but I feel like having your boots on the ground and being integrated into your community is a lot better. Because I'll say anybody in the Charlotte music scene probably knows who I am, and if they don't know who I am, they know who one of my contemporaries is. Mm-hmm. So there's 6 degrees or less of separation between me and anybody I'm trying to get in contact with, and I don't have to kill myself in order to just follow TikTok trends in order for people in my area to know who I am.
That's right. Now, with your most recent project that you dropped, Supersonic, mm-hmm. Can you tell me more about the perspective behind that? What was your thoughts going into making it, during the process, and even your post thoughts after?
Yeah, so in the process of making it, I wasn't making it and thinking like, oh yeah, I'm making an album.
Mhm.
I had 48 songs on my hard drive that were like, if they weren't done already, they were like, the only thing they needed was like finishing touches.
Mhm.
And I was like, all right, I got to do something with these. So I ended up making a 12 song project. So like I took a fourth of those songs and made a project out of them. But I'll try to make it as cohesive as possible. And I ended up adding in, I think, 3 tracks from it that were like completely original, that they were done once the idea of creating the album was made. And obviously that was Supersonic, Air Max 95, and or Just Mike.
Mhm.
So like everything else on there was like pre-made and like just kind of got thrown together once it made sense.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that I created something cohesive that people would like, enjoy listening to. But for like the actual like character of Mr. Supersonic that I created,
Mhm.
that was inspired by Tyler the Creator. Like how every single era he goes through, there's a new character. Like this last one,
With Chromacopia,
yeah,
or well,
Saint
actually,
Chroma was the character he created,
mhm.
and he had the Cherry Bomb era where he had like the pink head.
Mhm.
And then he had the Call Me If You Get Lost era where he's like wearing ascots
Yeah.
and like, polo sweaters and whatnot every day. So all of that was dope in itself. And I like looked at it and saw that he built a cult fan base just off of his ability to create a world for people to become immersed in.
Mhm.
And it gives people a reason to like, have an experience with the music instead of just listening to it.
For sure.
It's not just like another TikTok song. It's an actual like experience for somebody to enjoy.
Because when I was listening to the when I was listening to the album, that intro, it was really dope.
Yeah, so I appreciate the intro a lot, and I appreciate you complimenting it too, because that was the last track that got added to the project.
Really.
Yeah, and so I made that song beat, like made the beat, made the beat, recorded it, mixed it, and mastered it within the course of 2 days. Like, and that was like including like going to work and stuff too. But I did it within 2 days because I wanted something to like open up the project, and I heard the piano loop. I was like da 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 da, and I was like, this sounds like a beginning of a coming of age story.
Yeah.
And that even the voice, like where it was like saying the wild vigilante is on the street, Mr. Supersonic. That was me too. Like that was my voice.
Mm.
So I was trying, how they have what's the girl, Erica Bryant?
Oh yeah.
Well, not girl, but girl woman. Erica Bryant that does the news here in Charlotte. I grew up listening to this lady every single day, and I was like, man, I wonder if I can like imitate her voice. So I put on one of the
She
little
kills it.
TikTok filters on my voice, and that's what I ended up getting. And I took that, threw it on top of the beat, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to rap now. I made that quick intro, and I remember I was going out to Cali to see my lady,
Mm-hmm.
and I went ahead, did everything. Like I had the final master on my phone. Well, not even the final master; it was the only master
Mm-hmm.
on my phone. And I was like, man, like I gotta like try to get this off quick. So I ended up loading up and dropping the project from my laptop while I was in San Jose, Cali. And I was just like, no, actually, I was in the airport going to San Jose when I uploaded it.
Really?
Yeah, and I was just like, man, because I did the song and bounced it out to my phone
Mm-hmm.
right before I had to leave for my flight.
That's crazy.
And it was crazy because there was another song that was supposed to be on the album that ended up not making it because I didn't get the master done in time. But it's gonna be on my EP I drop end of the year. Gotta be mandatory.
What would you say is, out of all the tracks on the album, of course, what would you say is probably, or was probably, the most difficult song for you to write?
See, now I feel like I gotta look at it. I feel like I gotta look at my track list. Because honestly, I don't feel like anything comes hard to me to write.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have fun like writing a lot. So I'm about to look at my track list just to make sure because I don't want to tell you a lot.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess, I'll say this one. I'll say this one. So I have a song on here called "Last Dance," and it's with my boy Capone the guy, and then my other homegirl from Atlanta, Amari, and both of them are like, really good artists. But it took me a lot of editing because like I mixed over half the album. So like I had to like and I mix with stems. So I don't normally like to mix with an MP3. And in the back end, the outro of that song, I produced it as well. Like I made that beat. And like you always tell when it's a beat made by me because all my kicks sound the same. Like all the kick drums are the legit same. But that one probably was the hardest to make because of how long it took. And then I had the song almost done, and then Amari hit me and was like, yo, like, I got those vocals you asked for like a month ago. Oh, wow. And she was like, I got them. And I was like, all right, send them over. And then she sent them, and I was like really done with the track. But then when I added her vocals, it opened it up even more. And I was like, dang, like, I'm going to add this outro.
That's dope.
So, I even like took a vocal sample of like one of my favorite artists, Smino. And like, that's like that, what? At the end, that's him.
That's dope.
It was crazy. I actually got to like show it to him when I met him.
Really?
Yeah, he said
what
it was dope.
Say?
He said it was dope. Yeah.
Let's see. And then about your most recent single, Stir Crazy. Can you tell me a bit more about how that song came to be?
I don't know about who. Is it Roy Ayers or Bill Withers that
I think Bill Withers.
That does the original. Yeah, so Bill Withers has that song, and my mom used to play it all the time growing up because my dad's old truck had like cassettes. Like you had to put a cassette tape in it, and they had that specific song, and it was the only song on the cassette. But they had like 3 versions of it. They had like, and they would play all 3 versions. So I'm like, I ended up hearing it a lot. So when I heard the beat from this dude, his name is Not Your Mood, and like Move Hard, like he's probably got some of the best alternative beats that I've heard in a while. But I ended up linking up with bro, and I don't even think he remembered that like he gave me the beat, but. I ended up buying it from him and then worked on it. But like the first thing I heard it was like, when I wake up in the morning dew. And I was like, yeah, I'm using that. And like I said, like that, most of these songs that I think are really good aren't hard to write because I don't want them to be hard to sing either. So I end up like just passing the song on if it's not easy to write because it's probably going to be hard for someone to sing. But that one was real easy. And my boy Calvin is actually like pissed at me because he originally pulled up on me, played me some beats. And the chorus for Stir Crazy, I did on another beat that was his. But like I couldn't figure out anything else to do on the song just because his beat didn't have as much like energy as that one did. His was more like laid back, lo-fi, like just kind of chill. And I was like, all right, like. And I told him too, I was like, hey bro, like don't be mad at me. Like what I wrote on your beat is getting used elsewhere. And it was crazy because like he was right in front of me when I wrote it.
Oh wow.
So he knew it was supposed to be on his beat.
Watching like
No. So he thought it was going on his beat.
Okay.
He didn't watch me record Stir Crazy, but he heard it after I sent it to him. And he was like, this sounds familiar, bro, but it's hard. He's like, this is nice. And I was like, yeah, bro. I said, don't be mad at me. I was like, but this is the chorus I wrote for your song. And like the other problem was we never locked back in until I actually finished the session. So just opportunity strikes.
I know we talked about it a little bit already, but as far as like going about how you go about promoting yourself and getting your music out there so that people can find it and share it with others. I know you mentioned TikTok. Do you use any other platforms or?
Yeah, so Instagram, TikTok. Recently been dabbling with YouTube Shorts. I haven't figured it out yet. Like I'm not a super like internet-y dude, so I haven't been able to figure it all out.
Of course.
But one thing I have noticed is Oh my God. I'm a night owl. I'm not normally awake at this time. But um I'm taking my time because I wanna like I don't want anybody else that's trying to do what I'm doing to see this interview and then like try to take what I'm saying verbatim and try to apply it without it being sound advice. So Instagram ads, but using the meta ads like platform, the meta ads manager has been monumental. That's how I got my first like Spotify algorithmic playlist. And that's really how like I've been able to, continue to get my music out consistently to the right people. And the right people is just people who are your target audience that listen to people that are in your genre circle. Like maybe not your exact genre, but they need to be like, close. Like for a song like Stir Crazy, like I can get people that listen to Ice Cube all the way to Earth, Wind and Fire. Or even somebody who listens to, I think I put down Steve Lacy. Like for that, because like, it has that vibe.
I can see that.
And, literally Facebook Meta will ask you like what you need or like what type of audience like you want to like pedal this out to. And that's probably been very helpful, but it only really works if you got some money. Like you need at least a couple $100 to do it. Like I'll say like no less than $200 to like promote a song that way. And to be honest, Stir Crazy's moved better organically than it has since I started running ads. And I'll say Move It is a song that like needed ads a lot. Or not that it needed it, but it responded well to ads. Everything doesn't work for everything.
So you kind of got to play around with.
Yeah, you got to see which works
for each song.
Yeah, because a more like intimate song may just need a TikTok post. And I've seen, Lord, I did 82K on one post on TikTok, and it was literally just 3 pictures of like me that I did, and I have like my song in the background. Like it wasn't nothing crazy. Like I didn't shoot a video. I didn't actually go like shoot a TikTok. Yeah. I'm literally at work just posting.
And I've been seeing a lot more of that lately from a lot of independent artists. Like they'll just take a picture of themselves and post it with their song in the background and put some words up on the screen, and then.
Because I think people are kind of burnt out over essentially seeing half-baked music videos. Because that's what if we're being honest, that's what we're doing with TikTok. And like, there's some people who are really killing it, like they're going super crazy, but the overwhelming majority of independent artists don't have the ability to do so. So I think people are enjoying like the authenticness. Like there's a dude named Nebu. I don't know if he's Somali or Eritrean, Ethiopian. I don't want to be disrespectful to his culture, but you can tell he's like an East African dude. And bruh's making like, I say it's closer to like Junie, like style R&B, but like people are dubbing it like, new trap soul. I don't personally think he's singing enough for that, but I do like it regardless. And one thing that I was, viewing with his content is that he's literally just posting pictures of like him in the worst lighting possible. Like the worst lighting. I'm talking about like he's in his bathroom, like just set his phone up on a toothbrush holder.
And hit record.
Like, yeah, hit record. And he just lip syncing to his song. Like, there was another kid, and I say kid because like this was actually a young kid who, he's actually from Charlotte. I wish I remember his name. He makes like Christian, like trap music. But he literally just sit there, post up, take a video on the porch, like on his mom's porch, and like songs going insane. Like I'm talking about like, bro, I got like 1 million views.
Sometimes like all people want is that authenticity.
And I think we're at the point where everyone's just listening to the music. And it's getting back to that. Because TikTok specifically, it's a sound-based app. And we've, made it into a video app, but it was originally created by the same people who made Musical.ly. So it was made like for music. And I think people are hardwired to like want to use it to hear music and to discover new music. Because there was a point in time where like we've gotten some of our favorite new artists off TikTok, like the girl Iniko,
Mhm.
like off TikTok. You remember who that is? She was like the light skinned shorty, blonde hair. She made the songs like I'm high, I'm from outer space, I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins.
I feel like if you played this song for me, I probably know.
Yeah, you will recognize her vocal timbre because it's very unique. And I wouldn't call her a one hit wonder, but she had like 3 songs. It was like that one and then Jericho that I remember specifically. But those are those are her 2 like best ones.
So we just talked about a lot about TikTok and sound and just music overall. If you had to define your sound in about 3 words or less, what would you say?
Uh, I've always called myself a well flipped sample. Like if I had to like describe myself to somebody, because even like with Stir Crazy, um, that technically is an interpolation. Like, because I was trying not to get sued, but I played that joint for my mom, and she loved it. My mom's 58, and then also played that for my little cousin, and she loved it. And I think she's what 15 now. So I like the fact that I can like reach both.
Demographics.
Yeah, I can reach a wide demographic with my music, but as far as if I had to like put it into a pocket like where my sound is, and especially like the newer stuff that I'm working on, if you're familiar with Selection, like their R&B esque group of musicians and artists that is stationed out of Chicago with Joe K and Lord, I can't remember the rest of them, but they're Chicago, LA based artists, and I kind of view them as like the second coming of like neo soul and disco like put together.
That's interesting.
Yeah, nah, that I don't know one artist that is associated with Selection that is not fire. Like every single one of them, I all love this stuff. Yeah, so I would try to put myself into that pocket because I think that's what inspires me. Like I listen to those artists that maybe my age, maybe even a little older. Shoot, some of them younger. Like Destin Laurel, hard, insane. I don't know if he's affiliated with Selection, but he ends up on a lot of their playlists.
I heard one of his songs like a while back because that name is familiar to me, and it was dope.
He's tough. He's like 18 too. Like crazy.
Such crazy like talent out here.
Bro,
And
ridiculous.
at young ages too. It's really dope to see. So we were just talking about how you would define your sound if you had to describe it to somebody else. What would you say your overall musical influences are?
So if I had to say immediate influences, obviously I'm going with Mike. Like Michael Jackson, definitely a lot. Uh, I really admire. Oh, I'll say more specifically Quincy Jones as far as production goes, because there are certain elements in the way that they created essentially cinema through sound that I really appreciate, and I try to do the same thing. Obviously, I have a lot less resources, but these are like the things that are going through my head, like when I'm linking up with this process. If I had to say newer people, I would definitely say Lucky Day, Bruno, and Bruno more so for like songwriting, structure, and production. And there's a little bit of Frank in there somewhere, but I think my biggest influence is obviously SZA. Like SZA's ridiculous with her pen,
She is crazy.
Yeah, I think I've taken a lot of things like from a lot of artists. Like I heard Jid say one time, like good artists borrow, great artists steal.
Oh yeah.
So like I've taken a lot from other artists that like I've noticed that they have good work, Like for example, with SZA, like the way that she bends into her notes,
Mm-hmm.
like I've taken that away because like it kind of fits my voice, and especially if you're, I wouldn't view her or myself as like super very powerful singers,
Mm-hmm.
but we have nice tones, and we're able to like work our way around it and use it. So like that being said, being able to do the most with like the limited singing ability I have. And then with Lucky Day, his his vocal mechanics are off the charts. Like the way that he preps his voice and the way that he actually like uses it is very technically sound. So I've been studying that a lot recently.
That's real. Because you can always tell when artists, you can tell when they've studied their voice and when they know how to use their voice.
Yeah, and that matters because I know you were recording me early when I was laying down that track earlier, but being a really good singer technically
Mm-hmm.
doesn't always overpower the ability to use your tone. And a lot of people like they can't manipulate their tone, and that's just happened to be one thing I'm good at. But I may not hit you with a million runs, but it's gonna sound tasteful.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we've talked about your sound. We talked about your musical influences. What would you say you've been listening to as of recently? So
Uh,
like, what's been in rotation?
so I make R&B, but I'm really a hood booger.
Really?
Yeah, I joke with my friends to say that it's Y&B over here. But nah, actually, I think I told you a little bit about one of the artists I was listening to earlier, Junie.
Mm-hmm.
Junie's ridiculous. He's branching more into R&B, but he came out like in that dark R&B rap, like kind of amalgamation that was going on with Brent Faiyaz and Bryson Tiller.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Junie a lot. Suave, I've been playing a
Oh
lot
yeah,
lately.
he's
I
dope.
wanted to catch him like in person. He was supposed to come perform in Columbia, South Carolina
Uh,
for the Outskirt show, and I actually like I pulled up and everything, and I was sick to like find out that he didn't pull up. Yeah, he had like some health issue or something, but hope you good, man. Had to break a fourth wall. But Suave, Childish Major, of course.
mm-hmm.
Smino's been dropping a lot of features that I think are really dope.
He's so good at it.
Yeah, ridiculous. Um, Freddie's on tour right now, so I've been listening to that. I just saw No Worries, Anderson Paak and Lord Knowledge in person. They were both ridiculous, amazing,
I bet they're
and
even crazier live, right?
yeah, I was mad because Anderson ain't have a band at his tour, but I understood. Like once I saw like the other production level, I was like, okay, he did a lot. The band probably would have been too expensive. Because shoot, just moving my band around sometimes can be expensive. Well, I couldn't imagine like going hitting 40 cities.
Yeah.
But those are like who I could say immediately. I don't spend too much time like listening to other people's stuff
Mm-hmm.
because of what I told you before. Like good artists, borrow, great artists steal.
Mm-hmm.
Subconsciously, I will steal your shit. Like if I hear it too much.
So you try to
Yeah,
get away from that.
yeah. Like even my favorite artists, I listen to them a lot less than I did before I started making music because I started to sound like them. Yeah, and I'm a sponge. I'm a sponge. So I can absorb, information well. And it's a blessing and a curse because, obviously you never want to disrespect the art form by
Mm-hmm.
not trying your best to be original. Obviously you're gonna come up with interpolations, you're gonna want to use samples, you're gonna wanna like shoot, there's people that have done covers and rewrote the whole song. But that's not like my go to. Like I always want to make sure I'm showing up as me.
That's right. Let's see. Let me make sure. Huh, we're still good. Let's see. Are you working on any new music and can we expect more soon?
Yeah. So I have a joint that I'm working on with Jeff on the board. It's called Greater Good, and that's going to be a part of an EP that I'm working on for the wintertime. But honestly, I may push it to January. I always like to get things out in December. Like I like to, I call it clean the house.
Mm-hmm.
And even the track that I told you that I was supposed to end up on Supersonic that ended up getting taken off, I want to make sure that I'm like doing my due diligence to get that one out because I feel like it's a good one. And then obviously before I'm moving to LA, top of the year, so I'm having a going away show in January. So we're gonna make it big. We're gonna make it nice.
But we'll be there. Tune in.
Please.
And lastly, I know we've already given a bit of advice towards other people who may be watching this or just people out there in general who finally want to get started in music and start creating and putting their heart out there. Do you have any other advice for anybody like that?
I feel like I'm hardly the one to give advice because I'm still, seeking it myself. Mm-hmm. But I'll say this to anybody in any sphere of, creation and whatever you're doing. Network horizontally first, and then you can get into the diagonals, and then you can get to the networking vertically because a lot of times people spend so much time trying to, get close to people who are in positions higher than them in the industries that they want to be in. But especially in this industry, you realize people have a lot less power than you think they actually do. And, sometimes you can even be a little bit of a threat by being too close to them. Cause say you up and coming and, you just raw, you're just raw talent and you're just good. Two things can happen. Either people take advantage of that, or if you are smart enough to not let them take advantage of it, then they feel threatened by it. And a lot of times it's better to just work with people who already appreciate you for who you are, who are also just working on their things. Like when I take a look at some of my favorite, even just rap groups or Selection, for example. Selection, I don't know if all of them are friends or anything, but they all are in that same, median level where they're inching towards mainstream. And even Zero Fatigue or Pivot Gang from Chicago, they all happen to come up just at the same time. Yeah. I think I saw something about how I don't want to get the story wrong because it's not even my story. But Smino and Saba, they ended up going to the same college. And they just happen to make music. Yeah. now both of them is on freaking world tours. So that's crazy within of itself. But networking horizontally allows you to, be with people who are going to value you for who you are and not try to just use you. And that's kind of essentially what the industry is, where everyone's trying to use somebody for something. And I would rather be used by my immediate peer who, it's the devil, Yeah. And by helping them, you essentially become helped. But not always. If you're working with somebody bigger than you, shoot, they might just run off with your stuff. And anyways, and a lot of times, us independent artists, we'll be so excited to just get in and work with somebody. And for me too, I'm a songwriter. So I've always wanted to write for other people. When the opportunity presented itself, I jumped at it. Yeah. And I was traveling DC, New York, Atlanta, just going to all these places, working with this label. And I was really just sick to my stomach doing it because they did not give a darn about anything I was working on unless it was for them. So even me working as my working on my own music, and I'll rent studio time while I was at the studio, and they were still charging me the regular studio rate, and I'm like, yo, bro, I just did all this work for y'all, bro. I gotta pay the whole thing, and I mean stuff I'm going in with no engineer. I'm like, why are you charging me for the engineer price with no engineer? And it's just that people, not that I necessarily needed a handout or something, but I'm like, man, I know you're giving this price to somebody else for way cheaper because there's no way we would have been able to book the studio for as long as we did if that was price. So yeah, you just gotta watch who you work with and honestly examine your relationship that you have with them and see if like things are flowing both ways. Because if not, like you might need to move.
Word.
And that's horizontal or vertical if you're networking. That's just laws of life.
Laws of networking, laws of life. All right, well, I think this will be a good place to wrap it.
All right, man.
Appreciate you doing this. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank y'all so much.